When I heard about the Drag Race spin-off Vegas Revue, I was extremely excited. I am a huge Real Housewives enthusiast, and the idea of a spin-off of RuPaul's Drag Race that would follow like a similar structure was exhilarating. You already have all the winning cards with you. Dynamic characters, established relationships that partly extend over decades, wealth, pre-programmed drama. It should have been a hit, but it was not. And you could blame it on Corona, but the show was already flawed from the start. And here are some of the reasons why. The casting. I think a lot of the queens were interesting for a show of this nature, but not all. Derek Barry was too try-hard. Cameron and Evie were not bringing much. Asia was not interesting enough to be the center girl. These queens also don't really have a rich backstory that could make it interesting. Now I know that the show was about the Vegas residency and hence not focused on the ideal reality TV casting, but looking for performers. But I am looking at the show itself, and for that the casting really was not there. Another problem was that it was a VH1 production from the same people that did Drag Race. It became evident that the show was following similar production lines as this Drag Race, and it also was too focused to appease and be complimentary towards Drag Race and RuPaul. It made the whole show seem contrived from the start. Like the queens are focused and forced from the start to behave and oblige and could not be themselves. Lastly, the drama was so fake, contrived, and heavily produced that it became unwatchable. The whole Nebraska plotline was the most boring shit I have seen in a while, as well as the Vanjie and Cameron love story. I mean, what the fuck? It was so boring. But I have not lost hope and still am praying for a successful Real Housewives meets Drag Race show. Some requirements though need to be met. Firstly, it can't be a WoW Plus or VH1 show, preferably like Bravo or Peacock since they are skilled with these shows. Secondly, I think the show should from the beginning seasons rely on Drag Race girls and their pre-existing drama. This makes establishing an audience easier and leaves the door open for non-Ru girls to enter the show later on. We also need genuine relationships because the Real Housewives thrive when the women have decade-long relationships, and we need it here too, as well as good casting. I could see two shows, one centering around New York City Queens and one around LA Queens. In the following, I will present my ideas for such castings of the show. I will not consider their place of residency for this fan casting, so if the girls are in LA and New York, some will have to move. It should just offer orientation into my producer mind. But the more minds the merrier, so please share your opinion down below. I have three ideas for the casting. A cast of seasoned queens centering around like season 3, 5 and All Stars 2 drama, and one with newer girls centering around season 9 and All Stars 4 drama, and a mix of the two. Let's go. The seasoned dames. For this version of the show, we would start with a cast of icons that started in the earlier seasons of the show. Drama to profit on would be Alaska Talks and the Boogers. The casting would include Roxy Andrews, Detox, Alaska, and their complicated friendship over the years, and Manila Luzon, Shangela, and Alexis from season 3, and their feud. I think the plotlines would be so captivating, especially considering how queens of both camps have grown relationships in the past. Manila and Alaska apparently have become friends. Roxy and Alexis may have had a more difficult relationship. I could also see queens like Detox and Manila talking about RuPaul's Drag Race franchise in a very honest and non-biased way, something the Vegas Revue definitely needed. The Real Housewives usually has like main housewives and friends of these housewives that extend the cast and the supporting cast. For this iteration, I could see queens like Willem, Morgan McMichaels, Bob the Drag Queen, Alyssa Edwards, or Jujubee appear. I think especially Alyssa and Juju might even make for great main girls, especially Alyssa's relationship with like Shangela and the season 5 girls. Like that would be so captivating. So you could either make this cast like an 8 queen cast, have them be friends of the show. I think there are a lot of variations. I chose the main girls for now because I thought it might be realistic that they would want to do a show like this, and I think they could be heavy hitters. but also maybe extend in the future. But I also definitely see a place for Juju and Alyssa. And like, I don't necessarily think queens like Willem or Morgan McMichaels would make for great main girls, but I think could definitely stir the pot as a friend of. So this would be idea one. I think this cast would make for a great starting point for the series and entice many audiences to watch the show. These queens are also less likely to fear production coming after them or losing the Wow Presents blessings, so the drama could be real from the start. I think personally that this would be the most ideal starting point for the show. But possibly the show would be more interested in having a more recent audience to reach a younger audience too. For that, I would look at the very spicy Season 9 and All Stars 4 drama that have established a lot of central feuds. My casting would include Monet Exchange, Naomi Smalls, Valentina, Trinity the Tuck, Pheromone, Violet Chachki, and Ahura. Of course, Valentina would be the queen that everyone would probably go after, and with her personality and her ego, but I could also see like a true crime-esque plot with Trinity and like the whole Reddit drama with people doubting her motives. I think Violet and Ahura, though not necessarily like part of the original drama plots, could make for great pot stirrers for the show. Violet and Naomi have a great friendship that would be interesting to explore, and I don't know, I think like Ahura would probably add a different flair to the show and could mend really well with these like it girls, but also bring an international flair to the show which has never heard the main franchise. I think she would be not afraid to like voice her opinions. Monet, I think, would be the center girl here. She is familiar with the Real Housewives and would therefore be a good leader for the group, especially since she also has a good relationship with probably everybody. Future additions or friends of could be queens like Gottmik, Aja, Mohart, Candy Muse, Priyanka, Taze, Heidi in Closet, and so on. I think a cast like this has the advantage of possibly including any and every queen, since they all are interrelated somehow, unlike the older seasons, but may also suffer due to less so intensely established relationships and a strong concern of not being too controversial about Drag Race. I think this cast would also have a lot of potential and I think could make for an extremely dynamic show. A third idea could be a mix of the two. This would be the most difficult to cast, but would possibly make future castings from both camps easier and reach a wider audience. Casting here could include Manila Luzon, Naomi Smalls, Monet Exchange, Violet Chachki, Valentina, Detox, and Alaska and Roxy. I think we need some good pot stirrers, and we have them with like Violet and Detox. Alaska could be like the peacekeeper of the group, and I think Monet would be a good one too. But I also would be really interested in the Naomi, Monet, and Manila drama and their difficult relationship. I'm also like really captivated by the idea of exploring Violet and Alaska's difficult relationship. Now that would be enticing. Here are some additional production notes, Bravo, VH1, or whoever. Listen up. We need organic drama, not this Nebraska Derek shit. We need to follow their personal lives too, and see the full picture. Drag Race should not be the most important topic of the show, and allow the queens to be critical of the main show. And for future seasons, cast outside of the show too, please. Some of the most vibrant personalities for reality TV are probably outside of Drag Race, and should be considered. Oh, and please be diverse from the start. Starting off with Drag Race girls, of course, makes it difficult to be really diverse, but that could be a goal for future seasons. But yeah, that would be my fever dream of a show. What do you guys think? What would your cast look like? Do you have any additions, notes? Please let me know. Let me also know like which queen or what like drama you would be most excited for, and maybe some taglines ideas for like these queens. I think that would be really funny too. Anyways, see you then. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in Drag Race related stuff. I'm not uploading too regularly, but every now and then. Yeah, but thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys sometime someday. Alrighty, bye bye.